This is what vinyl record collectors dream about. It's mind-blowing, the kinds of vinyl records that were unearthed in this garage, forgotten for decades. This guy was sitting on a gold mine and didn't even know it. Over 100,000 records. This was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be able to get first pick at these records. It was the dig of a lifetime. Alright, we are back for day 3 of digging at this amazing honey hole of records. I came more prepared today. So today I brought headlamp, brought this little tripod system to hopefully be able to get some sort of footage. Alright, let's get it on. This is where they're all housed, in this garage right here. Alright, you guys, I'm going to pause right there for now. I'm going to show you the haul right now. The records that I found there, day 3, the dig of a lifetime. And as promised, this haul is even crazier than the stuff I found on day 2. On day 3, I was even more prepared. So I found even more killer, crazy stuff than I did on the previous haul. I got about 100 or so records here to show you. And then right after I show you all these records, I got footage. I'm going to take you into that garage. We're going to do some digging in there so you get to experience for yourselves what it was like in there digging in that insane collection. And more importantly, you do not want to miss this. I got footage of me flipping right past a $5,000 record. I missed it. Flipped right past that motherfucker. But anyway, yeah, let's get into this haul right now. Start out with 1970. The Blue Jays, Nascents. Killer, great funk and soul album. I actually listened to this one yesterday, and man, totally a keeper here. Love it. This is the first and only press of their only album. Nas sampled What Do You Want From Me, Woman for his track, It Ain't Hard to Tell. It's got this really cool gatefold, if I can get that in there for you. But even cooler, check out this label. Very cool. I've never seen that before. Map City. Also, I feel like it's important. I feel the need to point out that there's a guy in this band named Dick Domain. 1968, Bo Grumpus, before the war. They're from Boston, psych band. A couple of the members were in the psych group Joliver, Arkansas, something like that. 1969, Robert Jacobs, Ray Bradbury's Dark Carnival. This is the first and only press of it, psychedelic. And you know what? I'm not real attached to that music. I don't know if you can tell how nasty this shrink is. You probably can't. Let me see if I can get, because these records, I said before, it's like the vinyl is in great condition. The vinyl is dirty. The bags that they come in are dirty. And this shrink is torn and dirty. I'm going to free it. Free it to reveal. Beautiful condition. It's insane how nice these records are in this collection. Speaking of insane, how nice they are. How about that banger right there? Trouble, The Skull, 1985. Doom metal. First press of their second album. Still sealed. Crazy. If I'm ranking the doom metal bands, number 1, of course, Black Sabbath. Number 2, Pentagram. Number 3, Trouble. And of course, Candlemass and St. Vitus, and following that up. In my opinion, anyway. I'll be cracking this open very soon, by the way. How about some Throbbing Gristle? How cool is that? 1983 Throbbing Gristle, Mission is Terminated. This is 2 records. Got a full-length 33 RPM and a 12-inch 45. It's supposed to come with the zine Unfortunately, I don't have the zine for it. They're pretty avant-garde industrial stuff. Found another Throbbing Gristle, 1981. Throbbing Gristle's Greatest Hits, Entertainment Through Pain. It's a compilation. By the way, most of their stuff was only released on cassette. There's a handful of vinyl records, but there's a lot of cassettes. Cover art on this, does that look familiar to you? The style anyways, and this right here. What does it say? Visual Sound Stereo. It's a tribute to Martin Denny. There you go. More Throbbing Gristle. 1978, DOA, the third and final report. They're electronic industrial avant-garde, if I didn't say that already. This is a first press of 3,000 copies. Peter Christopherson from Throbbing Gristle was part of Hypnosis. You know, the art group that did, there's like 3 people or something that did all those famous album covers. They did most of the Pink Floyd albums. They did T-Rex, Electric Warrior, Houses of the Holy, Sweets, Desolation Boulevard, UFO, Phenomenon, Black Sabbath, Technical Ecstasy, and Never Say Die, Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. So many killer records they designed the covers for. Yeah, like I said, that's the first pressing of only 3,000 copies. I found 2 of them. How cool is that? 1972, Trapeze, You Are the Music, We're Just the Band. They're a hard rock band. First press, this has Glenn Hughes, who went on to be in Deep Purple, you know, the David Coverdale era of Deep Purple. He also did Black Country Communion. He was in Black Sabbath. Mel Gilley, the guitarist on here, he went on to be in Whitesnake. And Dave Holland, the drummer, went on to be in Judas Priest. Very cool, Trapeze. Johnny Thunders and the Heartbreakers. LAMF Revisited. This is a 1984 UK picture disc. Of course, Johnny Thunder came from the New York Dolls. It's a 1982 pressing of a 1981 record. TSOL, self-titled, 12-inch, 45. True Sounds of Liberty is what that stands for. 1984, Toxic Reasons, Killed by Remote Control. They're hardcore punk from Dayton, Ohio. It's the first pressing of their second album. Never been reissued on vinyl. This is it. Issued on 6th International in the US and on Alternative Tentacles in the UK. And still sealed. 1967, The Hard Times, Blue Mind, psychedelic folk rock. Larry Byron from this band was in Steppenwolf, Time, forgot what Time stands for, T-I-M-E. Neil Young's The Shocking Pinks, you know, a backing band he had. Bill Richardson, the guitarist, was in Time. Paul Wheatbread drums was in Gary Puckett and Union Gap. It's the first press of the first album, first and only album. Very cool, Psych. 1978, AC/DC, If You Want Blood, Bon Scott era. Had to get it with that cool radio timestamp on there. It's the first US press. It is not a white label promo though, just a standard record. Gold stamp promo for any of you guys who care about that. I already had one of these, but this one is in much better condition. It's a box. It's called Coffret, something like that. 3 discs. Basically 3 records. It's High Voltage, Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap, and Power Age in this box. 1987, The Saints, All Fool's Day, alt rock from Australia. This is their 9th album, first US press of it. Barabbas, 1972, self-titled album. They're Spanish funk prog band. It's the first US press of their first album. Here's the first US press of their second album from 1973 called Power. 1968, Boston Tea Party, Killer Psych, first press, their only album, super minty condition. 1973, Brothers, Rainbow Rider, classic rock prog band, killer album cover. The cover art was by Dennis Pohl. They did other album covers, including Styx, The Serpent is Rising. Dio Intermission, 1986 live album from Sacred Heart Tour. It's the first press of it. It's still sealed. 1989 Siren, All Is Forgiven, hard rock, AOR, album-oriented rock, promo copy. I don't know if it's a white label promo or... Oh, it's you didn't get able to see it probably, but it is labeled promo on there. This is probably almost the newest. I want to say this is a 1989 album. I think I found a 1990 record in this dig. I'm pretty sure it's going to be in this haul. But yeah, everything in that garage, that whole crazy collection, has been stored in there for decades. It all came from the original era of vinyl. So there's none of those recent reissues and stuff. It says this is the first totally tapeless album recorded exclusively using New England Digital's direct-to-disc digital recording system. That's kind of crazy. John Brandt played bass for Cheap Trick from 82 to 87. They changed their name too. I don't remember what they changed their name to. Oh yeah, they changed their name had to change their name to Red Siren because someone else had the name, I guess. Picture, 1982, Diamond Dreamer, first Netherlands press. They're a Netherlands band, I do believe. This was issued in the UK under the name Night Hunter, which I also found in this dig. Cool hard rock, heavy metal stuff. 1983, Picture, Eternal Dark. Another first Netherlands press, and yeah, they are from Holland. I love that. I love finding when you find a record that's from the country that the band is from. Super cool. 1972. This is a 1972 pressing of a 1970 David Bowie album, The Man Who Sold the World. You guys ready? You guys ready for this? What David Bowie album would you love to find? You dream about finding it. You think you'll never find it, but I found it. David Bowie, first US press, self-titled album on Durham, mono pressing. Promo, I don't think it's a white label promo though. It doesn't have any sort of indication it's a regular record. But let that thing up. That thing's crazy right there. One of the most insane things in this whole dig. 1969 Procession, self-titled, pop rock, a little bit jazzy sort of stuff from Australia. First and only press of that. Found a lot of Dead Kennedy stuff. 1982, Bleed For Me, Life Sentence, first press on Faulty Products. Still sealed, this is a top loader. Cool hype sticker on it. 1981, Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables. Actually, it's a 1981 press of a 1980 album. Italian pressing of this record. Still sealed. 1982, Dead Kennedy's Plastic Surgery Disaster. First press on Faulty Records. 1982, In God We Trust, Inc. 12-inch, 45 RPM EP. Not sure if this came out before or after Plastic Surgery Disaster, but definitely from that time. 1982, Frankenchrist, with the band H.R. Giger poster in it. I'm not going to show you that though, it's highly inappropriate. First press of their third album. There is the poster right there though. 1969, Phoenix, self-titled, blues rock, still sealed. This thing's been sealed for 53 years. I got a different band called Phoenix in this dig also. 1984, Pretty Rough, Got the Fire. Got the hype sticker, too bad it's got these price stickers all over it. I'll have to see if I can take a hairdryer or something to it and get those off there. Hard Rock, they're Canadian band, Canadian press of this Canadian band. Dokken, it's for Vinyl Richie. He's the biggest Dokken fan in all the vinyl community for sure. 1985, Dokken, Under Lock and Key. It's the first press of their third album. I'm super happy to find this one. This is actually one that I'd been looking for. This is 1987, Doc and Back for the Attack. First press of their fourth album. But this has my jam, Kiss of Death, on there. And I was blasting that the other day. My neighbors were listening to Kiss of Death, whether they wanted to or not. All right, 1975. The Image, self-titled, Psych, Prague. Mike Panera was in this band. He was in Blues Image. I just showed you some Blues Image in the last video. He was also in Iron Butterfly, Cactus, and he was in Alice Cooper during his punk and new wave era. It's the first press of their first album. Dwayne Hitchings in this band was in Buddy Miles Express and also in the Blues Image. All right. We're going to ditch this shrink, and then I need some help from Cosmic Brian. Let's get rid of the shrink first, because this ain't doing his album any favors. Alright, Brian, check those guys out. We need a ruling on the Afrometer. This looks off the charts here to me, but I'm no expert. That's why I'm bowing to you. You're the expert on this sort of thing. 1989, The Phantom, Love Me. It's a Denmark compilation, rockabilly. I first learned about them. The Cramps did a cover of that song, Love Me. That's how I first heard about them. Love Me, some old rockabilly. All right, there wasn't a whole lot of jazz there. There was a little bit, and this is pretty crazy. Chet Baker Sings, 10-inch, Pacific Jazz, first press of it from 1954. Pacific Jazz label. 1983, the Bauhaus, Burning from the Inside. This is a UK limited edition picture disc. I think Chromium Dioxide and Metal Theologian have both shown this record. 1986, Predator, Easy Prey. Very cool, heavy metal stuff. This is for Pilmer. Fish Heads, Barnes & Barnes, Greatest Hits, featuring Party in My Pants. Yeah, you know Pilmer's friends with Barnes & Barnes. Very cool, shaped picture disc. Damn You, KVNO. Arnold Bean, Cosmic Bean. How cool is that? Promo of their only album, Psychedelic Folk Rock. Killer. Tim Buckley, 1967. Goodbye and Hello. Psychedelic Folk Rock is the son of Jeff Buckley. First press of that. (1968) The Purple Gang Strikes. Psych. British band, not to be confused with the US garage band from the 60s. And that shrink is bugging me. There's no, it's got this sticker. That's actually on the cover itself. It's not on the shrink, so we're freeing it. If I can rip it, there we go. The Purple Gang Strikes. 1970. Blue Mountain Eagle, self-titled. See that name on there? Psych. Well, I mean, usually you can tell by looking at them if they're psych or not. Sometimes you can't though. Randy Fuller on bass is the brother of Bobby Fuller. First press of this. 1985, Pandemonium, Hole in the Sky on translucent vinyl. Metal from Fairbanks, Alaska. You don't know too many bands from Alaska, do you? It's their second album. Jewel. Jewel's from Alaska. I don't know who else is. I'm sure I gotta know something else that ain't coming to mind. 1983, Teenage Heads, Tornado. Canadian punk band. Fourth album. It's a mini album. R.I.P. Gord Lewis. We lost him not too long ago. Tigers of Pantang, Wildcat from 1980. It's the first U.S. press of their first album. Killer heavy metal. New wave of British heavy metal. Here's their 82 release. The Cage. First UK press of this. Fourth album.
Hey, asshole, where's the budgie?
Okay. Settle down. You want budgie? I got some budgie. Settle down. 1978. Budgie. Impeccable. White label promo with a press insert in there. This is their 7th album. Got 2 copies of that. This is pretty damn cool. 1976. This is a UK compilation album. Got a glossy cover. See, in the UK, you might not get excited about that. In the US, we don't see this here, so that's very cool to me. 1976, Budgie. If I were Britannia, I'd waive the rules. The US, also a white label promo. Here, let's bust it out there. With the press insert in there. Also, this is their 6th album. This is their 5th album. 1976, Bandolier. Another US white label promo with the press insert inside of there. 1974, In for the Kill. This is their 4th album. This is the first UK press of this album. Here's a first US press of the same album. Here's their 3rd album, Never Turn Your Back on a Stranger from 1973. This is a UK press of it, first UK press. Their 2nd album, 1972, Squawk, first US press of that album, ×2. And the granddaddy of them all, first album. It's the first US press of their first album, self-titled. This has Crash Course. It's called Crash Course in Brain Surgery. You know, Metallica did that. So now I got that. That was 11 Budgie albums in this haul. Now I officially have all the first 7 Budgie albums. Tons of Wasp now too. 1987, Live in the Raw, 4th album, first press. Killer hype sticker on it. That shrink's bugging me, but it does have that hype sticker on it. So we will be preserving the shrink on this one. 1986, Inside the Electric Circus. This is a club edition of their 3rd album. First press of their 2nd album, The Last Command. This has Blind in Texas and Wild Child on it. And first press of their 1st album, Gold Stamp promo for 1984. My favorite Wasp album by far. It's pretty cool. It's the UK uncensored 12-inch single of Live Animal. We've all had dogs do that to our legs before. In the US and elsewhere in the world, pretty much got just like this bit of the cover up here. And of course, this animal, that song made it onto the PMRC, their Filthy 15 list, you know, that songs that were, they were doing the, trying to ban songs and censor music and stuff. The Filthy 15 were songs that were either too much sex related, too violent, etc. Filthy 15, some of the artists on there also included Prince, Darling Nikki, Judas Priest, Eat Me Alive, Motley Crue, Bastard, AC/DC, Let Me Put My Love Into You, Twisted Sister, We're Not Gonna Take It, Merciful Fate, Into the Coven, Black Sabbath, Trashed, Venom, Possessed, and Cyndi Lauper's She Bop. I think it's an honor to be on the PMRC's Filthy 15 list. And this was a cool find, Bermuda Triangle. 1977, psychedelic folk rock, first press. Roger and Wendy are the duo who did this. They're a Greenwich Village psych folk duo. And this copy is autographed by both of them. Very cool. And also, found 2 of those. This one's not autographed though. 1968, Paul Parrish, Forest of My Mind, Psych, kind of soft rock, psych stuff. First press of his first album. Pere Ubu, 1979, Dub Housing. It's avant-garde, new wave, art rock stuff. First press of the first album. Features ex-members of Rocket from the Tombs. The Bag, Real from 1968. First press, super minty with that textured cover. Psychedelic pop stuff, produced by Johnny Carson. Not Johnny Carson, produced by Johnny Curtis of The Hobbits. Still on the shrink. Very cool. Pride, self-titled psychedelic folk rock. White label promo of this, featuring David Axelrod. He had some killer psych albums early in his catalog, but then he started moving more towards jazz fusion type stuff. Another banger right here. It's a crazy 1974 Primeval. Smoking Bats at Campton's. Proto stoner, hard rock, proto metal stuff. Super crazy to find that. Get that one up. Crazy. 1972, Propinquity. I guess, I don't know how you say that. Self-titled album, psychedelic folk rock. It's the only press of their only album. How cool is this? I was super excited to find that. Skid Row. Skid, not the Skid Row that you know. No Sebastian Bach in this Skid Row. This is 1970. Heavy Psych, Proto Metal. First U.S. press. Pre-Thin Lizzy. Gary Moore was in this before Thin Lizzy. By the way, also not on this album. Gary Moore's on this album. But Phil Lynott and Eric Bell also played in this band at one point before they were in Thin Lizzy. And Paul Chapman was in UFO. Very cool. ×2. This one has that killer timestamp on it. It's not a white label promo if I remember right. It's just got the radio sticker on it. This was super crazy. Now when I was digging through this stuff, it's so unbelievable. It's like you're in a whole nother world, and you'll be flipping through stuff, and then you'll pull out a record, and it'll take a bit. You'll be sitting there for a few seconds before I realize that, holy shit, I'm holding a Black Widow record in my hands. Can't believe it. Takes a little while for it to hit you. 1970, Black Widow, Sacrifice. This is the first U.S. press of their second album, Proto Metal. This, I listened to another one of their albums, and the first album, this was way better. Killer. So if you're looking to get into Black Widow, this is your starting point right here. This album is so amazing. You know what's cooler than that, though? Found 2 of them. This is the first UK press of the album. First US. See the difference? The bands on it. Very cool. And there's their first album right there. Found that too. Self-titled. First UK press of this album. Like I said, this isn't as good as Sacrifice. Still killer though. Here is another absolutely insane banger right here. 1985, Stormtrooper, Armies of the Night, 12-inch EP. I cannot put into words how awesome this record is. It was still sealed when I got it, which is totally insane. We held out as long as we could, and when we were drinking, partying, we cracked this motherfucker open. By the way, this is no longer mine. Gave this to my brother for Christmas. Damian Black, the vocalist on here. He was the narrator for the shockumentary series Traces of Death. See, there's another one driving me crazy there. Look at that ugly, warped, bumpy shrink wrap on there. That shrink has got to go. This is 1968. Fluff. Self-titled Psych. First press of their only album. They're part of the Boss Town sound psych scene. Yeah, let's free this thing. So glad to finally get that off there. Super minty all the way around. 1977 Parliament Funkin' Telecky versus the Placebo Syndrome. It's a first press of their sixth album. This is pretty damn cool too. 1969 Plus. Can you see a die cut? I don't know if you can make that out or not. Plus the Seven Deadly Sins, Heavy Psych, Proto Metal, prog stuff. First press of their first and only album. This was a really fun listen. There you can see the die cut better. Super, super minty. 1988 DRI, Four of a Kind. This is their third full length. Fourth, I kind of call it fourth because I count Dirty Rotten LP. That's a full album in my book. It's the first press of it. They're coming back to Omaha, by the way. They killed it last time they were here. They were here not too long ago, a year or so ago. Killed it. I'm definitely going back again. I've seen them several times now. Dealing with It, their 1986 full-length album. This is the first Canadian press of it. And there it is right there, 1983, Dirty Rotten LP. This is a first repress of it, basically. It's actually the first press of the 12-inch of this. Originally, it was a 7-inch. This 7-inch is a reissue. I bought that at that last DRI show I was just saying I was at, 2017 reissue of it. It came out originally as the Dirty Rotten EP, then they released it on 12-inch vinyl as the Dirty Rotten LP. This is the mislabeled version of it too. The labels are on the wrong sides of the record. Another absolutely insane record. If you know, you know. It's another one. Look this one up. The band is called the Golden Dawn Power Plant. Psych from Austin, Texas. The 1967, this was released in 1968. The 1967 release date for this record was withheld by international artists until after the 13th Floor Elevators Easter Everywhere was released. And even though Power Plant, this record, was recorded earlier, since it was released after 13th Floor Elevators, they ended up getting labeled as a 13th Floor Elevator copycat band. Very cool. Also super minty all the way around. That is just absolutely insane. It's worth a lot of money here. That's why I keep it in the bag. Even when I show you guys, keep it in the bag, keep it protected. This one might have to go to Beast. 1970 self-titled Psych from Denver. This is second album. Both of their albums, at least first two, I don't know if they got more than two or not, but they're both self-titled. Robert Yeasel, the guitarist, was also in Sugarloaf. But yeah, it says that cool Musicland price sticker on it. Get a good look at it though, because I got several records with that sticker on it, so this shrink is really bugging me. Super dirty. I don't know. I wish I could give you guys an idea how dirty some of this stuff is, but anyway. So much better looking now. And like I say, it's just going in a bag. Anyway, it's going to be better protected than it even was in that shrink. That nasty ass shrink ain't helping it anymore anyway. 1971, Possum River, self-titled, psych, folk rock, hard rock, first press of their only album. I know, I haven't been showing you the backs or anything, just too many records to get through. We're almost done here though. 1983, Jaw Wobble, The Edge, and Holger Zuki, I guess. I don't know how you pronounce it. Jaw Wobble was from Public Image Limited. The Edge was from some band called U2. And Holger Zuki was from Can. This is Snake Charmer, mini LP, electronic, left field dub, jazz dance, fusion, free funk. How cool is that? Banshee. Self-titled, Heavy Psych. First press of their first album, still in the shrink. I'll probably rip that shrink off there too. That is staying in my collection, so I'll rip the shrink off. And 1962, the Coasters. Coast Along with the Coasters compilation. They're an LA doo-wop band. It's my favorite. From this era, that sort of music, and I think you can't touch the Coasters and the Shangri-Las. Top two right there. This is their third compilation album. Apparently, I own their first 6 compilation albums and the first 2 studio albums. Alright, now like I said, we're going to go into that garage. You guys are going to get a good look inside that garage. Whole bunch of digging in there. And like I said, don't forget, you'll see me flip right past a $5,000 record. Let's go check it out. This is where they're all housed, in this garage right here. It's dark in there. It's probably pretty cool right now, but no air conditioning, no lights. Look how far back the rows go, about 20, 25 feet. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 aisles like that. All that big. Records on both sides of them. Floor to ceiling. Actually, the records on the floor are water damaged. But yeah, it's crazy. And they say they got more, like this much more somewhere. And just what's in here is just insane. It's unbelievable. I don't even know that I could say it's a collection. I don't know if it would do as a collection or it had a store at some point, because there's multiples. Like, see this? There's multiples of that record right there. So it's like a store, only better. This is freaking crazy. I don't think they're letting us in to dig yet. Cool, it's on cash right there. Just as I suspected, that headlamp and the 5-gallon bucket were total game changers. The headlamp, of course, it provided light, so I didn't have to use my phone as a light. And that also freed up my hands. Since I didn't have the phone in my hands, I had both hands to dig with. And the 5-gallon bucket gave me something to stand on to reach the higher shelves. And it also gave me something to sit on so I could reach the lower shelves a lot better too. Getting hot already.
It's a little warmer in here than yeah. But need a little of that breeze in here.
Mm-hmm.
It's so frustrating because it's so nice outside. It's so freaking stinky and gross in here.
So many shelves, it's almost impossible just to pull a record out of it. Anybody looking for Herb Albert? I hit that section. Just send me your want list.
You see some good soul music though.
So tell me, who are some of your soul artists that?
Well, the funkier looking, the better, I'll say.
The funkier?
Yeah.
Okay.
If it looks scary, I want it.
We got our first holy shit of the day.
I mean, there's like fucking 5 copies of everything.
I mean, it's just crazy this shit passing on.
Yeah.
You know, on any other day I'd have been excited about him.
Absolutely.
The really good shit's harder to spot though because there's only one of them.
Yeah.
So they hide easier.
Well, kickers, I found that Beatles Butcher Block yesterday. It wasn't with the Beatles albums. It was with a bunch of different. It was just sitting all by itself.
Damn.
Another album.
some interesting fucking records.
Yeah, there is.
I mean, it's like, I've had dreams about shit like this.
This is fucking like a dig of a lifetime.
I completely agree with you. I guess this guy could do this because he sold so much corn or something.
Corn?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, his house was loaded. One of the batches of records I bought from the store over there, there was like 4 records. I got them home. They didn't have records in them. It was just a bulk buy, I guess. And like 4 of them they were just full of smut pictures.
Oh no.
I mean, like women hanging on it by a rope and
Yeah.
just weird shit like that.
Some of my friends who used to dig like from the 90s on had buys like this. I mean, this literally is, like you said, Steve, a fucking dig of a lifetime. Crazy.
I might not be eating this month.
Oh.
You know, I collect Les Baxter.
Oh yeah.
And I was expecting to find just millions of Les Baxter.
How about Hell's Bells? You have that one?
I do not have Hell's Bells yet. I did find Jungle Jazz yesterday, which is one that I've been wanting.
Yeah, Hell's Bells is tough. I actually just sold it for like $300.
Really? I'm hoping to more to get it like at this price. Yeah, see, I don't pay up for shit like that, you know. Oh shit! Here you go, handing it over.
What you got?
That's one for you again.
Oh, sugar. Heavy boots. I mean, this guy was collecting when nobody else was collecting.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this collection's, from what I could tell, has got to be from like 88, 89 back-ish.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I found another fucking Black Widow album. Fuck,
Metal
Sabbath.
or what?
Proto Metal, 1972. Fucking
Really?
yeah,
What the fuck?
yeah.
What label was that?
CBS. Crazy. I wonder what the fuck this is. Bermuda Triangle.
I'll be like, I'm not fucking moving. We're good in here, right?
Tornado? I'll go down with the records.
That's what I'm saying. You got this, guys.
Big Star,
Which one?
Radio City.
wherever these are going, they're gonna have like a huge Three Dog Night section. And
Yeah. You know, even when everyone's done, man, there's still gonna be shit in here.
oh, you know it. It won't be these 3 television marquee moons though.
Right?
I mean, this is fucking
They won't be
crazy.
getting those.
This is absolutely crazy.
What's the red cover one?
Adventure.
Yeah, I found that at a state sale a while back. I paid $8 for it. I was excited about that.
Fuck yeah.
Doug's buried himself.
Huh?
I don't know if we're gonna be able to get you out, Doug.
Well, you can see how my knees roll up when I try to stand up.
Did you pull these records out?
No, these have been sitting here the whole time. They're all water damaged stuff, I think. Too bad there was a really nice box of Nina Simone that were all.
You guys have stuff. I mean, I kind of know what each of you guys like. I like, I like to help people out too. That shit's fun.
Right. Well, you're doing good so far.
Well, thank you.
I don't have you pinned down though.
I'm more
You're all
soul
over
and
the place.
funk.
Huh?
Soul and funk. How about Whitesnake?
Yeah.
Are any of their records worth anything?
I don't know. I mean, there's the certain value just that metal has,
Sure.
They might be $20 records or something. Yeah, I'm metal and proto metal and space age and exotic. I go from metal to easy listening, and other shit too, of course. Punk and,
I'm definitely the same way. I love variety. I think it's such an important part of our lives.
yeah, I'm always just looking for new shit to listen to.
Right.
I don't stay in one place too long. And that's why it's hard for people rebuying all their records that they had back in the day. I don't give a shit about those records.
Yeah,
I've already been there, done that. Could be something. Picture.
Hello.
Psychedelic furs is cool, but it's getting shit too crazy to even pick that up. I want to say Psychedelic showed some Plainsmen. They're a local area. Pogues. It's a single. I'm going to pass on it. Peter and the Test Tube Babies. Poozies. Uh-oh, we got the 10 to 15 minute warning. All right. Looking good. I got a box under there's full, and I got stack there. Definitely can't buy all that. Fafner. That's a name that's going to haunt me for years to come. It hurts to watch that video. You know, I got like just a few minutes of footage where you actually see the records that I'm flipping through at this place. You know, I was digging there 8 days, something like that. I was digging there hours and hours, but I only got a few minutes of footage. Just enough footage to see me flip right past that Fafner record, though. $5,000. I still killed it at that sale, though, so I'm not going to beat myself up too much over it. I still have a whole bunch more records to show you. Like I said, I went there 7, 8 times. So I've still got 2 more videos maybe that I'm going to make out of this, 3 more or something like that. So make sure you click the subscribe button so you don't miss out on that. If you want to see the first video I did and show the first 2 days, click on this link right over there. Thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you on the next one.